How are you? I'm just gonna do my little thing to do the thing. There's got to be an easy way to do this. If anyone knows, then please let me know. Oh God, hang on a minute. Anyway, right, here we go, Paige. So tonight, I'm on a bit of a soapbox tonight. Here we go. Share now. Okay, so please say hi if you're here. Give me a little heart or a hi or a hashtag live, people say. So tonight I'm talking about the stuff that gets in the way of our success. And so this won't appeal to you if you're not striving for something. This is really for my entrepreneurial guys and gals, or you could be striving for a promotion or a career thing, or I don't know, but mostly this is for the people who are striving for something, and the stuff that can get in the way of that. So if you know anybody who's building their own business, got something going on the side around their job, then tag them in on this and share it with them, and just because this will help, I promise. Because I sort of want to call a bit of bullshit on the whole thing, because what I understand is that there's all this like, will you do what it takes? Like, will you do what it takes to achieve your dreams? And this was inspired, this live, by a live I watched, and my sort of last couple of weeks, as they usually are, and it was a certain person. It was Melanie Anlea, who I love. She's a coach that I follow, and she was talking about, you know, we all come into this world knowing we can have whatever we want. Like we come in knowing we can have what we want. Hey, Kay. And so we'll come in and we'll go, well, I want that toy, I want that Barbie. And then when our parents say, no, you can't have it, we're like, well, what do you mean no? Like, we come into this world expecting everything and expecting we can just have stuff. And that's how we are. That's how we come into the world. And that's right. Like, we should want, and it's okay to want things, and it's okay to, you know, desire. It's okay. It's an okay thing. But slowly over time, our parents and our teachers and our society and our you know, surroundings lay a set of rules on us, and they are the rules that they were given by their parents, which means, you know, money doesn't grow on trees, I want doesn't get, and we slowly learn to shrink our dreams to what our expectations are of our life, and then we stay there. Most people stay there, but actually, you know, my experience has been that because I read a lot, and because I watch a lot of stuff, and I've done a lot of courses, and I've done a lot of training, and I've been in business for myself for the last 8 years, I've realized that anyone can have anything they choose. Hey, Matt. Anyone can have anything they choose. And the limits that we've been given ourselves are given to us by other people. They are given to us by other people. You aren't born with a negative belief set. You aren't born thinking that you know, when you come out of the womb, you don't go, oh, okay, I live at this postcode, that means I'm not going to be successful. That doesn't happen. All those beliefs are given to you by other people. And if you stay believing those things, then that's what happens. And you stay in the confines of your beliefs, and if that's fine for you, that's fine for you. But if it isn't for you, and you are trying to build something, I want to talk about openly the bullshit that gets in the way. And the things I want to talk about are pride, what people think, and perception. And pride is the first thing I want to talk about, because when I was building my first business, there was a lot of pride involved on my part, and I'm going to call myself out on my mistakes and the mindset shifts I've had since then. So there was a lot of pride involved, and the reason there was a lot of pride involved, and I don't mean pride as in I was proud of what I was doing, because I was and I still am, but there was a bit of foolish pride going on. And what I mean by that is I just couldn't, because a lot of people didn't understand what I did, and because people said no a lot, and people took the piss out of it, and people criticized it and said it was this and said it was that, you do develop a really thick skin for criticism. And, you know, my friends were supportive. You know, it wasn't like I got any real negativity. I did a bit, you know, but, you know, nothing to write home about. But because you build up this is incredible, and it is an incredible opportunity, and it still is. There was a lot of pride involved, so I would sort of cut my nose off to spite my face. Like, I wouldn't do something because it wouldn't look right, and this is me being like brutally honest, like, and who hasn't done that? You know, well, I'm not going to do that because it might. What will that look like to other people? What will that? Oh, sorry, I've got some dirt on my screen. What will that look like to other people? Because there was this perception, because I was doing really, really well, and then this perception arrives of of how you are and how you should live and what you're doing, and you feel like you need to live up to that, and it's scary, and it can lead you to make really shit decisions, and it did lead me to make some shit decisions. And what I realized is actually nobody cares. Nobody cares. Like, you build up this perception in your head about what you think other people are thinking. I'm going to quote my Rumi quote again, which is my favorite quote ever. And I'm not who I think I am. I'm not who you think I am. I am who I think you think I am. Wrap your sweet around that one. Love it. You'll hear me. I've quoted that about a million times. I love it. Hi, Sarah. So we create these perceptions in our head of what we think we have to live up to, and they're bullshit, because nobody cares. People are too worried about their stuff and what they're doing and their job and their kids, and no one cares. So one of the worst things you can do in your business is be so concerned, you know, is to make decisions based on what you think other people are thinking about you. And the reason I want to talk about pride as well is that 2 or 3 years ago, I wouldn't have made the decision to do something that I've made a decision this last week to do something that 2 or 3 years ago I would never have done, because I would have perceived that it would have meant this. Now I don't care because my goal and my vision is so important to me that I'll do whatever it takes in order to do it. And so what I want to talk to you about and to get you to open up about is that if you are in business, now, if you're in business, it takes cash. Like, it takes money to build a business. And anyone who tells you any different, you know, and there are people who build businesses, online businesses like I'm doing, with very, very little overheads. And I've got very, very little overheads, and it can be done. But at some point, there's bits of investment here, bits of investment there. There's courses I want to do, for example. The courses I want to do add up to £20,000. You know, and they're really important to me, and I really want to do them. So I am prepared to do whatever it takes in order to do that. And so what I want to ask you is, if you're building something that's important to you, are you not doing as much as you could do? So say if you do need a cash injection into your business, do you have a skill set? Do you have something that you could do to raise an extra income in order to support your dream? Because if you're not doing that because you're worried about how it looks to other people, especially if you've got friends and family that aren't supportive, and you've got friends and family that think you should just give it up and get a proper job, or, you know, why don't you just, you know, if it's not worked, why don't you give it 3 months? That's a famous one. Give it 3 or 6 months, and if it hasn't worked by then, you know, go back to the job. If you've got people saying stuff like that to you, but you need a cash injection, is there something you could be doing? Forget what they think. Is that cash injection? Is that skill you've got? Is that job you could do 1 day a week, 1 evening a week, 2 evenings a week, whatever? Is that, hi Paul, hi Katie, thanks for joining. Is that going to be the means to the end? Is that thing going to support your dream? And if it is, I encourage you to do it, because Who cares? And there's some brilliant quotes over this, and I looked at some quotes in order to prepare for this, but like, never limit your vision based on your current resources. So I've got 20 grand worth of courses I want to do, and have I got 20 grand? So I might know, but does that mean that I'm going, oh, no, it's 20 grand, I can't do that. Why can't I? I'll make it happen. And the stuff happened in this last year that I thought I would make happen and I haven't made happen. That doesn't mean they're not going to happen. It just means they haven't happened yet. So I'm trying to, I get quite irritated by the perception, especially in the online business world, that, you know, everyone's making 6-7 figure businesses, and it's all Instagram beautiful and everything's amazing, and it's hard work, and it has to mean something to you, because if it didn't, you wouldn't do it. But are you so worried about perception and being Insta amazing that it's affecting your decisions about actually how you get your business off the ground and how you get it functioning and how you get to where you want to be? Because you've got to make the decisions based on what's right for you and your business and your end goal. But you have to know what that end goal is. And if that end goal is so important to you as mine is, then you do whatever it takes. And you don't give a shit about what people say, and you don't give a shit about how it looks to other people, because ultimately it doesn't matter, because actually they don't care. Most people don't. It's what you've built up in your head, and then you need to ask yourself why you're doing that. Is that fear? Hey, Rebecca. Is it fear about failing? Is it fear about being successful? Because what I've realized, especially working, doing what I've been doing for the last sort of 8 years, is that fear of success is usually more scary than fear of failure, because most people expect to fail. Yet that's okay, honey. Most people expect to fail. You know, my most hated saying is, oh, well, I don't want to get excited about it, and then I won't be disappointed. Ugh, like that. Ugh, it makes my skin crawl, because how are you going to achieve it if you don't get excited about it? Like, you have to flip the switch on these kind of things. So pride is one. Are you doing what you need to do? And if that's waiting tables 2 nights a week, if that's working behind a bar 2 nights a week to inject some revenue into your business, if your business needs revenue, then do it. Who cares what anyone thinks? Because you'll be the one laughing when you get there. And if people are taking the piss and are talking about you and saying, oh, well, she can't be doing that well because she's doing this, that, and the other, who cares? Who cares? And the thing is, the way I look at it now is that if I die still trying to achieve this, if in 40, 50 years time, I'm still striving for what, I hope that's not, well, that won't be the case, I know it won't. But what I'm saying is that would be okay, because I enjoy it. And I'm happy, and I love what I do, and I get great testimonials from clients, and I'm helping people, and that is what matters. And so even if the big vision of mine doesn't materialize, which is impossible because it's going to, who cares? Who cares? Because I'm enjoying it, you know. So that's sort of area one. And then caring what people think. And there's a brilliant Brené Brown, who I love, talks about this, and you know, it's right to care what people think, because it makes you a decent human being. Like, I've said this before. But what's important is that you don't let what people think of you influence your decisions. You know, things might be scary, and you might make a decision and go, oh God, you know, I'm going to do this, but what will people say? I mean, doing this, for instance, I know there's people that you know, come onto it and go, God, what's she ranting on about, and might have a conversation about it. You know, I don't care. The ones that want to hear what I've got to say, they stay and listen, and that's the only people I care about. Like, I only care about the people that show up and that want to hear what I've got to say. And I'm not for everybody, and everybody isn't for everybody, and that's okay. Like, there might only be 100 people in this whole world who absolutely love what I do. That's okay with me. I'll speak to you. Like, if you're one of the 100, I'll speak to you. This is why it's such an incredibly amazing time to start something for you, and to start a business, because there is ridiculous amounts of opportunity and billions of people all over the world. And if you know, and this little thing that I'm talking on, enables us to connect to everybody in the world. There has never been a better time to start something of your own and to, you know, reach out and create a global business from your home. There's never been a better time. So caring what people think is completely pointless, because there's a brilliant quote, and it's Dita Von Teese. You know, she used to be married to Marilyn Manson, the striptease, and she said, you can be the ripest, juiciest peach in the world, there's always going to be somebody who hates peaches. So I love that. So, and I was Melanie Ann Layer, this is a brilliant example. I love her. Like, she's incredible. Like, I really look up to her as a coach. I think she's amazing. She does great content. And I was looking through the feed because I was watching her live, and she was chatting away and blah, blah, blah. And everybody was just like, oh my God, this is amazing, this is amazing, this is amazing. And then there was this person who was like, not got anything from this. What's this about? And I thought, wow, like, I love like the bones of this girl, like literally hang off her every word. And there was this person who was just like, don't get it. And I was like, wow, even she gets people like that. And that's fine. So it's sort of like, you've got to build a bit of a backbone about it and a bit of a thick skin, and just go, do you know what? It's actually brilliant if I'm, you know, brilliant that somebody doesn't like me, because some people do. You know, that's the way the world works. So letting pride get in the way of making decisions that support your business because you care what people think and because you're worried what it'll say and what the perception will be to other people, don't do it. And worrying about what people say within regards to you pushing yourself out of your comfort zone and you're getting criticized and people going, oh, you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So I want to talk about that. And also when it comes to, you know, adding, you know, doing an extra skill or adding another income stream to support your business, it isn't a step back. And that it's how you perceive that decision. So you could say, so I've recently taken on some a day's hairdressing for my friend. She's opened a new salon. I want some extra revenue to pump into my advertising and my marketing, because that stuff costs money. She offered me opportunity. I said yes. Now, 3 years ago, I would probably said no, because I would have worried about how it would look. Don't give a shit now. Because at the end of the day, that is something I love. It's something I'm good at. It's a skill that I have. And it gives me an opportunity to add revenue to my business. So my perception of that is now different, because I'm no longer worrying about what anybody else thinks. I'm worrying about my end goal and how I get there. Suddenly all that melts away, because you're just like, well, actually, this is awesome, because this gives me an opportunity to get where I want to go quicker. Simple as that. That's the only thing I thought about. Does this get me to my end goal quicker? Yes, I'm in. And it's not forever, it's helping her out, it's a mutual benefit, awesome. But can you see how the perception of that could be different? And your mindset about your decisions is down to you. And so you can either choose to see it as a step back, you can choose to see it as oh God, this is never going to work, or you can go, what an amazing opportunity this is for me to move forward quicker. And this is funding my dream. That's the way I'm looking at it. And that's the only way to look at it, because the other way stops it. The other way stilts your growth. Stunts. That's what I meant to say. What else have I written down here? I just wrote some bullet points. And one of the last things, so this is quite a short one, is don't be short-sighted. Like, whatever you're dealing with here in this situation now in your business, whatever you're dealing with now, get out of this, like, lift your head up and look at the big vision. And, you know, I always say to people, your big vision can sometimes be overwhelming, because you think, oh my God, like, I've got so much to do, I've got so much to achieve, I've got so much growth to do, I've got so much to learn. And it can be overwhelming, and that can actually help, you know, stunt your, I've said it again. How many times did you use the word stunt in a live? Anyway. So, you know, it can hold you back, because you're going, oh my God, and you just procrastinate, you don't get it done. So I always talk about, and this is a tip I learned from, God, I always forget her name, it'll come to me in a minute, about Lego bricks. Like, what have you got to do today that will move you in the right direction? The tiny little Lego bricks that are manageable and bite-sized pieces. What can you do today that's going to move you towards that goal? That's a much better thing to do in the interim. But if you're in a bit of a crisis, or if you're in a bit of a place where you're feeling stuck, or you're feeling like you want to give up, or you're feeling like, you know, is this ever going to happen? Then just look up and see what you're going for. feel what you're going for. It's important for you to feel it, because when you sort of feel it and you look up and you go, actually, this is why I'm doing this. This is why I'm doing this, because this is how this whole thing, that vision makes me feel. And that is how I want to live. Like, this isn't about, so it's not just about success. It's not about money. It's about how you feel in your life and what you achieved in it. And what you, when you look back, when you're sat in that, that granny rocking chair with whatever drink you've got in your hand, and you're looking back on your life, and it's important to me that I'm proud of it. And it's important to me that I said something and achieved something, and it's important to me, like really important to me. And it's important that I show my kids that I'm not going to give up. Like, I'm not going to give up, because then that gives that mindset to them. It's important. I'm not just going to go, oh, it's probably not going to work, and come out with a billion excuses, because there are a billion excuses to not do it. But it's too important. And if your goals are too important to you, then for the same reason you should do the same. Like, just never ever give up. It's believing in the vision and doing everything you can to make it a reality, and not letting shit, pride, what people think, perception, fuck it up. It's just not letting it happen. Because what a waste. Like, the worst thing, is it a Jim Rohn quote? There's two kinds of pain: the pain of commitment or the pain of regret. And I know, I don't think that's a direct quote, but it's something like that. And for me, if you feel that there's potential in you that hasn't yet been realized, which there is in every single person, there is untapped potential in every single one of you. And if you have something inside you that you just feel you haven't reached it, then find out what it is. Like, do yourself a favor and just grow into it, and explore that, and think about it, and play with it, and try stuff, and just think, if I could do anything, what would it be? And what if it worked out? Like, what if it worked out? And if you feel any form of excitement about that, and if that gives you any form of butterfly, then you have something in you going, go for it, nudge, 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 nudge. When I talk about following the nudges, your inspired action, we're getting into a bit of manifesting now, but the whole point about law of attraction is not asking for £1 million and waiting for a check to float down from the sky. It's asking for whatever you want, whether that's £1 million or £1,000 or whatever, or the job or the partner or whatever. And then getting into alignment with that, and how would that feel if I had that? I've gone off piece a little bit, but it's relevant. How would it feel if I had that? So when I look at my vision and my goals, I feel it. Like, when I'm there, I feel it. But the important thing is, I'm enjoying it now. Like, I love that feeling. If I just had the feeling, like, I love it. And I love what I do, and I'm enjoying it. So there's a difference, otherwise you slip into I'll be happy when itis, which is a whole other life. So I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, so if you've got that inside you, you've asked for something, you'll get inspired action, we call it. And you have to take action in direction of your dreams, right? So if you've got a nudge to, I don't know, look in the paper for a job, a particular job, or if you got a nudge to, I'll just look on the internet and see what courses are available in that area. So if you've had something you always wanted to do, like, what did you want to do when you were a kid? Like, what did you want to do? What interested you? What passions did you have? Those passions are still in there. You just forgot. So, like, do a little digging around this week and think, actually, if I could wave a magic wand tomorrow, what would my life look like to do with me? Like, what am I passionate about? What would I like to learn more about? And then you follow the inspired action, and you go, okay, I'll have a little look if there's a course available. And lo and behold, there is a course available within your budget and near to your house. And that's how it works. You just follow the inspired action and follow and follow. It's like the breadcrumbs in Hansel and Gretel, which, by the way, is the sickest story ever. I was just reading it the other night. I was like, this is awful, this story. Like, no wonder kids were messed up. Anyway, you know, so it's the breadcrumbs, and that's what makes life exciting, is wanting something, desiring it, asking for it, believing you can have it, and then following the inspired action that leads you eventually to it. And that makes life exciting, doesn't it? Because every day is different. You're listening out for nudges. You are getting excited because, oh my God, I was just thinking about that, and then it pops up. And you will all have had that happen. Every single one of you will have had, oh my God, I was thinking about that, and then it pops up. Or you were thinking about a certain person, and then they ring you. Or you were, you know, thinking about a certain car, and then 84 of them drive past. That's how it works. And if you're in tune with it, and if you take notice of it, you will end up where you want to be. But you've got to believe that you're capable of it, and you've got to believe that you're worthy of it, and that it's available to you, because anything you want is available to you, period. Bit American, wasn't it? Period. Anyway, so that's that. It was a bit of a rant. I felt a little bit, it was a nudge, and it was inspired nudge to talk about that, because I think there's so many people out there who are behind the scenes grinding their business, you know, wondering where the business is coming from, doing everything they can possibly do to promote their business, promote themselves, you know, build this legacy income, this, you know, thing, their baby, their dream, behind the scenes, and trying to make it look perfect on the surface, and then worrying about what people think about it if it's not perfect. And this whole progress over perfection is like my mantra, like progress over perception. Did you see that bloke walk past and not looking at what I was doing? So what was light here. So progress over perfection, just do what you need to do to make it happen. Never, ever, 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 ever give up, and stop worrying about what other people think, because it doesn't matter, because they actually don't care. Right, I'm done. That was it. Little bit of a rant, little bit of a soapbox. But that's it, I'm done. So thank you for listening. I will be available again next Wednesday at 9. I'm gonna jump over onto my other one and do another one now. So thanks for listening. I hope you had a lovely night. I hope you're having a lovely week, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.